Yes, that's right. Some women actually prefer beta males. I like to call them, beta hunters because they're screening for beta males that they can control. That is their highest priority, is to find a man who kind of looks alpha but can be controlled as well. That is her highest priority, is her need to control and boss him around. And why would some women prefer betas? And it's easy, it's pretty self-explanatory. They want a man that can control. And with that control, they can control his resources as well, control his time, control his attention. They control everything about him, essentially, eventually. But yeah, it's a big thing of controlling his resources. That's why like so many women will flex on social media about what their boyfriend or husband bought them. Oh, look at what all this stuff, all this money he spent on me. It's a big flex on social media to be like, look at how well trained my beta male is. And that's the priority for these women. And really, these beta hunters, you can't identify them just by looking at them. Because you would think like, all these women must be kind of like masculine or butch. But that's not the case at all. They can look like the most feminine, sexy woman on the planet, but she still might have that kind of masculine, dominating personality. So it really has nothing to do with what they look like. And it has nothing to do with like what happens in the bedroom either. This is about relationship control. Nothing sexual, nothing about like sexual control or anything like that. This is about relationship control. And these are why women prefer betas. These women prefer betas. And I used to think that these kind of like domineering, masculine personality women, the way to get them was to be even more masculine and more dominating than they are. But that's the exact opposite. The minute you start acting kind of like masculine and uncontrollable, they are out of there. Like, you'll make your head spin how fast these women will be out of there. And I'll describe some of my experience and some stories with them, how fast they turn as soon as you act like you're not going to be controlled. So yeah, if you want these women, be as controllable as possible, because that's what they're looking for. The minute you don't like follow their program, they are out of there like real quick. And what is the quickest way to identify these women with dominant, kind of like masculine personalities? And the easiest thing is to propose a simple, cheap date. The minute you propose, like, let's grab a coffee like near my place, or, let's take a walk in this park or whatever, they are not going to go along with that. They're immediately going to be like, oh, I've got a better idea. Let's go to this place. I know this great place, blah, 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 blah. Or I think we can do better than that. These are all beta bait things that these women say. And if you don't follow along with the script, they are out of there. So yeah, they are screening for betas. So if you don't follow the script, you're out of there. Now, I'll describe some of my like situations of how I screen these women out, how we screened each other out. Because when two masculine forces come together, they repel each other. Same thing with like two feminine forces come together. They repel each other as well. So here's some of my encounters with these women. I remember approaching this girl at the gym, getting her phone number, and I was gonna set something up later on that week. But she took the initiative. As soon as she had my phone number, she texted me and said like, hey, I've got this plan. I've got tickets to this, fireworks show down at the beach. And I'm like, okay, this is a little bit weird. Like, normally I'm the one to kind of set things up. But I figured hey, it wasn't going to cost me anything. Seems like she has her heart set on this. So I'll go with it. And we ended up having a pretty good time. We went to the beach, saw the fireworks show. We went back to my place. And I invited her inside. But she was like, no. Like, why don't you walk me to my car again? Kind of like a masculine situation of her leading the whole scenario. So I followed her back to her car, and I could tell she really wanted me to kiss her, so I did. And she was super happy. And we parted ways, and I went back into my apartment, and she left. And I remember thinking, like, man, this is kind of weird. Like, she kind of leads the whole situation, the whole date. So yeah, the next couple of days, I didn't bother like setting something up. She took the initiative. You notice the the common theme here. She took the initiative of proposing like a date where it's kind of like a dinner and a movie at the theater and grabbing dinner afterwards. And at this point I was like, how about this? How about you come over to my place and I'll make dinner for us here? And you wouldn't believe how butthurt this chick was as soon as I proposed this simple, kind of hangout date at my place. She was out of there. She's like, you know what? I really don't think this is going to work. Yeah, it was nice knowing you, kind of thing. And that's how fast like a beta hunter will leave as soon as she finds out that you're not about to follow the script. It was like I offended her by being like, no, like, let's do something else. So yeah, that's what happens when you encounter like a beta in these situations. As soon as you propose like some sort of like cheap date, they're like, no, like I got a better idea. And like you noticed, everything is sunshine and rainbows as long as you're following the script. But as soon as you deviate from that script, they're out of there. Like, it'll make your head spin how fast they're out of there. Because again, they're looking for men that they can control. That's what they're looking for. I remember another girl that I approached and got her number from, I think, work or something. She was just a customer. And I remember proposing the date of, grabbing pizza or a slice of pizza near a place, near my place, near my house. And she's like, over text, she's like, I think we can do better than that. And I'm like, it's a little weird. Like, unless you've got like some sort of food allergy or you've got like, something wrong, then what's wrong with grabbing pizza? And I remember like thinking like, this is really weird. Sounds like beta bait. The usual encounters that I have with these like beta hunters, where as soon as you propose a date, they're like, no, let's do something better than that. Again, these women are looking for like men that are willing to jump through hoops just to date them. So yeah, I didn't bother replying to this chick because I knew that's what she was after. She was screening for betas. Yeah, I found out in a small world, she goes to the same gym as I do, and I knew the guy that she like ended up being in a relationship with. So, and this guy was a complete beta, her beta bitch. So that's what she was looking for, the beta bitch that she can, boss around. So yeah, my suspicions ended up being correct, obviously. Again, the date itself should be an afterthought. A girl should want to spend time with you regardless of, what the actual date is. So it's the minute she starts proposing of like, oh, I think we can do something better than that, means she's interested in the date and controlling your ass. And sometimes a beta hunter won't reveal their true nature until after you've had sex. But believe me, it will happen very quickly. These women cannot control their need for control for very long. So they can't put up a front of being like feminine and like submissive and easygoing. They can only handle that for like maybe like a couple dates. Because I've had sex with these women before, and like right after, she's all like, so does this mean we're like boyfriend and girlfriend? And I'm like, no, like it's a little early for that. I had no plans of making this girl my girlfriend at all. But at that point, she made all kinds of demands. The demands started coming fast and hard. Sooner or later, you get tired of like running into the same resistance that girls will up and leave, or you'll get tired of them trying to make demands the whole time. So yeah, whenever you encounter these women, these kind of like masculine personality women, it won't be long before, yeah, they're very short-lived relationships. Because like, again, two masculine forces, the more masculine the forces are when they meet, the more they repel. And so the more masculine you are, the more attracted you will be to feminine energy. And the same thing with a woman. The more feminine she is, the more attracted she is to like masculine energy. So yeah, when you get two forces together, like they repel each other, and two feminine forces together, they repel each other. It's, yeah, you kind of need that yin and yang of masculine, feminine in order for there to be like a strong attraction over the long term. So whenever you have these, if you're a masculine guy, the relationships that you'll have with these kind of masculine personality women will be very short-lived. Either you'll end it very quickly or she will. Now, if you just want to bang these women, because they're usually very like rambunctious in the sack, they're like hellions. Just follow the script. Follow their lead, and you'll have no problems. And the minute you like, as long as you don't deviate from that script, you'll be golden. But again, this is going to be short-lived unless you want to trade in your balls over the long term. Your balls will be getting smaller and smaller as she dominates you more and more. So yeah, I wouldn't advise it for very long. Some of these women, these masculine, dominating women, they actually really struggle to keep men in the long term. Because a man can only be dominated for so long before he rebels. In most cases, it may take him years to rebel, but he will rebel eventually. Either he cheats on her or just gets tired of her and dumps her. But usually it's cheating, in which he cheats on a more, feminine-minded girl that, makes him feel like a man finally, as opposed to having his balls crushed by his, beta hunter wife or girlfriend. So a man can only go against his DNA for so long before he wants to feel like a man again and be with a feminine woman. All right, guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching.